Welcome, and thank you for joining me on the mat today. Today's class is going to be a yoga Pilates mix where we focus on our hips. So you shouldn't need any props. If you got your mat rolled out, let's get started. Find any comfortable, tall, seated position, letting those shoulders be heavy. Let's take 2 deep breaths together to help us get centered and prepared for practice. As you inhale, reach the arms up, grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, just let the hands relax through heart center. Once more. Lovely. Let's open up those hips to a nice butterfly position. So feet together. Your butterfly can be a little bit longer if that is more comfortable for you, or it can be in nice and close. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to start by moving with the breath. So as you exhale, just flat back, lean forward. And then inhale, lift back up nice and slow. Exhale forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Just 2 more. Lovely. And we're actually going to flip over into our tabletop right away here. I'm going to bring my hands underneath my shoulders. My right foot's going to reach way out to the side. Left leg stays underneath. Now, if you find you have limited range of mobility in your hips, you may want to kickstand this left foot, but you are in control of how far back you make this movement. We are just going to exhale and bring the butt back as far as is comfortable, keeping this right foot on the floor, and then inhale, rise. Good. Exhale, back. Inhale, rise. So again, just 4 more with your breath. Like I said, if it feels too much coming all the way back, just stop wherever you need to. Oh, I lost count. I think this is 6. All right, bring it back in. Switch to the other side. Okay, so left foot out, hands below the shoulders, and again, press back. And just recognize that one of your hips might be a little tighter than the other. You may notice that you can't go as far on this left side, or perhaps this is your more flexible side. I did too much talking. I think that was 5. That could have been 6. We might be doing an extra again on this side. Come back in. Bring the knees together. Bring your big toes to touch, but your knees really quite wide. And then we're going to send those hips back. So we're sitting on our heels, and then walk your feet or your hands forward. Let your head be heavy. So when we take this wide-legged child's pose, we bring some of that stretch into the hips. Good. Inhale, come back up. And we are going to come over and face the side of our mat. So kind of similar to a side plank, modified side plank, we're going to take this right hand below us, left foot out to the side. And I'm going to start with my hands on my hip. We're going to be lifting up, pulling this right leg or left leg in, and then kicking it back out. So if this feels already like we're doing a lot, we don't want to add on too much, just stick with the leg. If you like, you can get a little bit of hand in there. So as we crunch in, and then we release. All right, if you haven't started already, please join in. Now take about 2 more. Good. Reach, release back to the earth. Now your hand can definitely come back to your hip for this guy. We're going to bring this left foot in front of our mat. And we're going to start to make a little rainbow motion. So we're lifting up and over. So we should feel like our foot is behind our butt and then lift up and over. Good. Up and over. All right. Good. Back to the front. And then release it back to the side. We're going to start off on the mat. Lift as high as we can. Release back. One more. Good. Bring it back in nice and slowly. Take a little pause in the center. Perhaps roll those shoulders. There's a little bit of pressure on them. All right, and then come to the other side. So left hand is down, right foot is out. And again, either hand on your hip or getting it into the movement. We're crunching in and out. Two more. Go ahead, reach. Drop that foot, bring it to the front of the mat. And lifting up and over. Back to the front. And release. Good. Legs straight back. And just little lifts. Good. One more. Good. Release. Let's come back to that child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees wide. Press that butt back and then release the head. Good. Inhale, come back through center. And then it's always nice to get those hips pressing towards the earth. So keep that chest lifted. Give those hips a little bit of a wiggle as well. Uh, and let's tuck our toes underneath so we can lift the heels up or the knees up. We're going to bring that right foot forward, knee to the right wrist, trying to get this right ankle towards our left wrist. So this is our pigeon pose. We're checking in that that back foot is straight back behind us. And I want to keep my hips parallel. So if this hip starts to feel like it's sinking and this other one is high, just press back up a little bit. We're going to stay in this nice tall pigeon here. So chest lifted. Good. Tuck that left foot under so you can lift up and back. Press back briefly. And then left leg forward. Again, knee to left wrist. Ankle towards the right wrist. Again, check in with that back foot. And then just hang out in this tall pigeon. Kind of imagining that we are sinking towards the earth. from our hips. Our hips and our butt are sinking towards the earth. Tuck that right foot underneath, step back, take a little down dog. And then we're going to drop those knees. Come back to a nice comfortable seated position. Now the hips can be really intense to work through, so we are taking a little bit of a shorter practice today. If you do feel like your hips could go for a little bit longer, I encourage you to repeat any of those movements or postures, or perhaps there's something else you'd like to include in your practice. Feel free to do so. We will close up together with 3 deep breaths. So inhale, reach up, grow nice and tall. Exhale, nice and slow through center. And inhale. And slow exhale. One more. And let those hands rest at heart center. And I thank you for joining me on the mat today. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.